Hello, my name is Anais Sanchez, and I'll be presenting about orbitofrontal prefrontal cortex lesions and its correlation to antisocial personality disorder and criminal behavior. There are three main components to the prefrontal cortex, which is the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, orbitofrontal prefrontal cortex, and ventromedial prefrontal cortex. The dorsolateral prefrontal cortex is sourced to high cognitive function, switching attention, working memory, and inhibiting inappropriate responses. The orbitofrontal prefrontal cortex is mainly responsive for extensive connection with sensory areas, also connections to the limbic system structures that are mainly focused and involved in emotion and memory, and the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, which its main function is to regulate and inhibit our response to emotions. The orbitofrontal cortex also holds neurons that help with the reversal of the punishment and reward system, and people who have damage in this area may have or may experience impulsive actions, and it may also make the person more sensitive to punishment than the reward itself. There was a study made on 43 prefrontal lesion patients. 23 of them had a lesion in the orbitofrontal cortex, and they came to prove that the people with the lesion in the orbitofrontal cortex were very much more impulsive. They were, as stated, more sensitive to punishment than reward. They were seen as more angry and were more prone to depression. And as well, they were less open to experience. As well, in behavior-wise, they would see that they would antagonize more people. And as they would do so, they would not feel any guilt for their actions. People with antisocial personality disorder have a tendency to lie, break laws, act impulsively, and lack regard for themselves and also for others. In a study from the article Brain Volumes Differ Between Diagnostic Groups of Violent Criminal Offenders by Burst K. et al., stated that antisocial personality disorder is the most seen disorder within prison inmates, as they've observed that 50% of the inmates portray the behavior and the other 47% have a history of major aggression. The study was made on around 39 men from the ages of 18 and 54 years old, and at least 13 of the men had antisocial personality disorder. The offenders with antisocial personality disorder portrayed reductions in the ventromedial and lateral orbitofrontal cortices, and reductions in the orbitofrontal prefrontal cortex have led to behavioral relations to poor inhibitory control, impulsivity, and reactive aggression.